Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a sold-out and absolutely rocking Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great NFC matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. There's Drew Brees as he comes out onto the field, the 40-year-old quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. He'll turn 41 in January, by the way. He already is the NFL's all-time passing yards leader. He could be the all-time NFL passing touchdowns leader at the end of this season, but he's got some competition. It's been Peyton Manning's record since 2015, but right now it's Brees and Tom Brady dueling to see who will have the top mark as we exit the 2019 season. Fun to watch down the stretch. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Kamara. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
5-9. Hey, wahoo!
On 2nd and 12, Brees. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
So many weapons on this offense, and we've seen them all season long score from any point on the field. But we all know playoff football comes down to playing smart. The game slows down, and it's harder to move it. So you've got to avoid penalties, avoid turnovers, and not let your emotions get the best of you.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's the first carry for Dwayne Washington. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff, And Mike Zimmer's head coach pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Breeze now. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins, the 31-year-old quarterback in his 2nd season with the Vikings, bringing them out the rest of this offense. And it's also the first time that Kirk Cousins has quarterbacked the team to double-digit victories. The Vikings reaching that plateau for the 2nd time in 3 years after winning 13 back in 2017. But for Kirk Cousins, the numbers have been good. 2nd straight year on track to top 70% completion-wise. Also the fewest amount of interceptions that he has had. And when you consider he's been playing a large part of this season without his Pro Bowl wideout Adam Thielen, makes the numbers that much more impressive. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And what a tough environment to roll into. On the road, playing one of the better teams in the league, obviously, because this is the playoffs. So what do teams talk about? Bringing their own momentum, bringing their own energy on the road, because you know you won't get any from the home crowd.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 41-yard line. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. David Onyemata with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Breeze now on 1st down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And that'll bring up 2nd down. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we put Baltimore #1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition And us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has got it together. The defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw with Breeze. And he whips that one incomplete there. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11. Shotgun now for Breeze. And that will be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101. The trade
looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Breeze. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now the Minnesota Vikings coming back out as they get the football here. It's been over 4 decades since the Vikings played in the Super Bowl, and we don't know if this is going to be the year that they get back, but there has not been a lot of talk about this Minnesota team. A double-digit win season and a lot of good teams in this conference, and I feel like they're a little bit under the radar, but top 10 in both offense and defense. You got dynamic players on both sides of the football, and we'll see what this Minnesota Vikings team can do down the stretch if they can make a little noise. One thing's for sure, they've been very good at home this season. That's to Cook out of the backfield. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Cousins again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Cousins now. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Come on, fellas.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's the first of 2 games here on this wildcard Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's NFC wildcard game. But first, let's take a look back at action from earlier. Meanwhile, in our game, it took a little while to get settled in, but we were in for a battle royale in this second half. And to call the action, let's go back to the guys who've been there all year, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Come on. Alert flare, alert flare, flare.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So, in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 40. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
54 Mike, 54 Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54. It's an easy. That's going to be a long day.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now Breeze on 3rd down. He may try and run for this. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. On 2nd down, it's Murray, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. 14 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Well, look, this is a team, Charles. They faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one, but let's face it, if you're good.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. David Onyemata picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
59 mark, 59 mark, check, 59. It's just me and you.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Cousins. He completes it to Treadwell. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They'll throw again. Cousins. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Cousins to throw it. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Olabisi Johnson, 28 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
On first down, Murray. And an alley to run. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. And there's also a flag to go with it. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Ready? Yellow lady.
Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.